The following presentation is brought to you through the paid memberships of NotaryStars.com, the only notary training platform and resource library with over 150 hours of training on every loan product under the sun. Together with our sister website, OnlineNotariesPublic.com, which focuses on notaries who are pioneering in remote online notary, we strive to give you a safe place to ask questions, get answers, gain confidence in your notary career, and achieve success without overfabricating the truths about our industry. If you would like to support us, please consider liking this video, subscribing to our channel, sharing this video with a colleague, or becoming a member and trusting us to help you achieve the level of success you desire.
Hello, hey there, friends. Welcome back to Monday General Mentorship, MGM, brought to you by Notary Stars. We're grateful to see you here and excited that you have joined us. Remember, we meet every Monday except for holidays at 5 p.m. Pacific time. So mark those calendars and let's make this a weekly tradition. If you are new here or just not quite sure who we are, Notary Stars is a one-stop training platform for everything under the notary sun. From rock-solid basics mastering to mastering the most complex loan files, we've got you covered. We even conquer the mysteries of remote online notarization. And we have the best notary business marketing course that focuses on teaching you how to market your business so you can shine like the star that you are. Important note, we're not a certification program. Instead, we are a continuing education platform that brings you all the latest education and keeps you up to date with industry changes as they happen. Beth is away this week on vacation with her family, so I'm helping with tonight's MGM. Let me introduce myself. My name is Kirsten Bly, and I am the new notary liaison as well as an instructor here at Notary Stars. Joining me tonight is our amazing team, Mr. Ronnie Mickle, founder of Notary Stars and marketing SEO Wix legend, our expert Ron instructor, Mr. Bill Bumfrey, and our very own Spanish-speaking instructor, Mr. Manuel Puga. Together, we're here to support you in your notary journey. As a request, if you could just a couple of things. This is the perfect networking opportunity, so take a minute, update your Zoom label to include your state abbreviation behind your name. This helps connect you with other notaries in the area. Please turn on your cameras. We love seeing your smiling faces. Let's get that gallery lit up. Get ready to participate. Raise your virtual hands early in the session to pose a question, or you can also share a tip or trick you've learned along the way. We're only going to be here 1 hour, so let's make it unforgettable. Before we start, though, we want to let our fellow notaries who are in the pathway of Milton know that our thoughts and prayers are with you and your families. We also send out thoughts and prayers to those who are still being affected by Helene. So everyone, please be safe. To those that were able to attend the Notary Academy retreat this weekend, it was so great to meet all of you, to learn and have fun together, even if it was like around 110 degrees or so, but freezing in the conference room. All right, Mr. Ronnie, would you like to get this party started?
I would. I just want to make a quick announcement. First of all, my sentiments exactly. You guys don't have to raise your hand to get in queue for questions. We definitely have some from the drop form that will keep us going all night probably. But if you would like to ask a question tonight, please go ahead and raise your hand. I only have a couple of announcements, so it'll only take a second. Also, guys, I have the same exact sentiments. I really loved getting together. I don't know if anybody's ever actually, I know a lot of people are driving or flying right now to get back to where they came from, but I enjoyed every minute of the notary conference this weekend. I think I hugged everybody and then the wait staff at the hotel. So I got to get my hugs in this weekend. So the next event that I get to attend with you guys, I hope you guys will come. It was definitely a meaningful weekend, and I actually learned some things as well. I have to give props to Laura Beaver. I think you guys, if you have never listened to her presentation on deliberate practice, I'm going to beg her to see if she'll come back and talk more about that at Notary Stars as well. It's probably one of the most enlightening segments of an event that I have been able to listen to. It was my first time meeting her in person. You guys know her. She's been here. She's on TNT. She has the trust delivery course. She is a wonderful, respected trainer. But I have to tell you, I had a lot of takeaways from her segment at the seminar. So if you've never heard of deliberate practice, probably reach out to Laura Brewer and ask about it. Now, the same thing with those in path of Hurricane Milton and those that were in Helena. Our hearts and prayers are for you and your family. This hurricane actually scares me the most because it's not just touching a coast and going into land. It's like actually going over a peninsula. So my heart and my prayers really will be with you guys. Some of the notaries at the conference actually changed their flights pretty quickly to get home and make sure that they were there with their families or could get things out of the path. So my heart's with you guys. Now, my biggest announcement is for tonight, and Kirsten, I don't know if we have a link for this in there, but we have an event tomorrow, and I'm going to look it up as I'm saying these words because I want to make sure we have an event tomorrow. It's absolutely free. You guys, Unlimited Ink Notary, which is my signing service, processes about 3,000 transactions per month. And with the refis coming back, it'll be way more than that. We really get to see what the pain points are for notaries and where they have the most difficulty. And one of the things that they have the most difficulty with is power of attorney signings. And we're not talking about like signing a power of attorney. We're talking about after a power of attorney has been issued and then going to the table with documents that have power of attorney language on them. You guys know Travis from previous years, but he spends most of his time at Unlimited Ink. He's not as outgoing as I am. A little bit more camera shy, but he can really deliver. And when he does come here at Notary Stars, he really gives a great class. So I know a lot of you might have taken Beth's POA training, but Travis is going to get into the nitty gritty of what your clients are really looking for. So I'm going to post Kirsten's already done it. There's a registration link. You do have to be registered to attend. There are 469 notaries before tonight. Actually, let me just see because there's probably people registering. So 469 as of this moment that are registered for this class. So that means there are a lot of notaries who really want to know about this. If we hit 500, I will extend it to make sure everybody can get in there and convert it to a webinar with additional attendees. But I don't want to pay the $100 if I don't have to. So with 142 people on the call, make me pay it. Make Ronnie pay some money. But I would love to bring this to your attention because one of the number one things that I see and hear about from other signing services as well is the inability to properly execute a power of attorney signing. So I would encourage you, if you can find time tomorrow, this is a one night only, and it's being recorded for our members and members only. So it is, if you're not a member with us, you will only have this one time to watch it live. We won't be recording it. Well, we will be, but only for members. So if you can make it, otherwise you would have to come back and, be a member. And we know not everybody can always afford a membership to everything. So we try to do these events where you can get in there and actually learn something that will make your business stand out. And I will tell you, every time we get a PO of signing at Unlimited Ink, exclusively to us, I don't know about other signing services, there's 1% chance that it's going to go right. 1% chance out of all the signings. We calculated it. So this is definitely a pain point for notaries. And I've had some of the best notaries in the country, no complaints, royally mess up POA signings. So that's why we're doing this, to help get that education out there. Okay. All right. So we're going to kick it off tonight with questions. We already have one hand raised in the gallery. Just as a reminder, it is easy to interact with you when your cameras are on. We don't care if you're cooking dinner and listening to us at the same time, but we would love to see your cameras turned on. Makes it much easier when we can see that interaction between you. I see those cameras lighting up. Thank you, everybody. Right now, we have 149 people on the call, and I know people will be tuning in as we go. We're going to start with Miss Donna with her hand raised. Guys, don't forget to raise your hand to get into queue, and we'll go back and forth between the jot form, those who wrote in, and also the people who've raised their hand. Miss Donna, When you're ready, I would love to hear from you tonight.
Okay. Hi. Um, I just, I was on here last week and I was talking about an issue that I had had with a signing company on the form that I was unsure with. And I wanted to say it was a misread on my part. So it was just a misread on my part for the signing company. They did great. It was just a misread on how it came out. But
I appreciate that. Do you mind if I elaborate just a little bit more?
sure,
I want to
sure.
make sure. So, Miss Donna had brought up last week, she had a signing with Unlimited Ink, and then our team sent her back what needed to be corrected. And it was concerning a date that it was misread on her part, and I was able to get there. But the takeaway from this is, especially working with my company, and I have to state this, Notary Stars is a separate company from Unlimited Ink. I am the only true crossover employee. Beth doesn't work at Unlimited Ink. Nobody that works here works at Unlimited Ink. Well, Manuel is an account rep, but he doesn't cross, like, it's totally different companies. Um, the training company is the training company. The signing service is the signing service. I have no problem, because sometimes I have to go, was it my company that you're talking about? And I want you guys to feel very comfortable. I'm an approachable guy. You're never going to embarrass me because I always am trying to do the right thing. And I love that Miss Donna let me call her, which I did right after the session, and set things straight. And I asked her, I said, would you mind coming back and just making sure we talk about that next week? But I felt like the reason I asked you if I could elaborate a little bit is when you work with Unlimited Ink, notice that word with. I don't believe that anybody works for me. I don't believe that our training is the only training either. But when it comes to the signing service that I own, and I have wonderful people running when I'm here with you guys, I do participate there. I need you guys to know that I am very approachable and never going to ask you. I will go to bat to make sure that we do everything right together and that you shine. So I never want you guys to tiptoe around, like, if it was a signing that you did at Unlimited Ink, bring it up. It's okay with me. I want you to feel comfortable and that you can approach and that you can say that was Unlimited Ink that this happened at, or another signing company. I know that we want to be very careful, but when you're working with me, you don't work for me. You're never going to embarrass me. Um, None of those things. I will always put you first. So I'm very proud of you, Miss Donna, for, standing up and saying, hey, that was my misread. But I also wanted to give you the power to say, you should be able to ask anybody that you work with, and you should look at everybody, as all of you notary business owners out there, as you're working with someone. You're not working for someone. The only time you work for someone in this industry is when you work for yourself. So I wanted to give you that power and also instill that into other people. No matter who you're working with as a signing agent, you're really still working for yourself. So you are working alongside signing services and title companies because you're an independent contractor.
And I do want to say one thing to back up what Ronnie's saying, that I did get another job from Unlimited Ink. So just because I did bring that up doesn't mean that I was X'd off of any list or anything. I commend him for working this out with me and bringing it, to my attention that I'm the one that made the mistake. It was a misread. I'd read a lot of papers that week, and as a new notary, they get confusing, So,
This is the perfect time to remind everybody of what Carol Ray says at Notary to Pro. I heard this for years, and I think it's the most beautiful saying for notaries out there. It is not the mistakes that we make that people are going to remember. It is how quickly and efficiently that we remedy them. When we show people that we care about the mistakes that we make, you showed me that you cared about that by asking a question, just posing a question. And you didn't say, am I reading this right? You posed the question, you did it professionally. And then I was able to assist you, and we did it in a timely manner. I'll never forget that. And you were the first person with your hand raised this week, so that means even more. Like, I actually have chills of how perfect of an example people can work together in this industry if we just try.
I appreciate that.
I appreciate you.
Response. Thank you.
Thank you. You have a wonderful evening, and I'm glad we gave you another job. I don't even know about it because I wasn't working in scheduling from Friday to today. So I think we talked on Monday, and I've been busy for this conference. So I'm glad that the team is still giving you
Yep.
work. And
Good
as long
job.
as you keep doing a good job, you'll keep getting jobs for sure.
Yeah. I'm happy.
Not just with us, but with everyone.
Oh, I am. It's just slowly but surely coming, but it's good.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And we're going to go on to Miss Angela. Just a reminder as Miss Angela comes up, we do have job form questions that we'll start going to after this. But if you have questions, go ahead and get in queue because we have a lot of job form questions to go through as well. So you want to get your hands raised for any questions. Miss Angela, when you are ready, we would love to hear from you.
Unmute. Okay. Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I am well. It is such a pleasure to finally speak with you. I have been with Notary Stars for several years now, and it's great. I've been doing the Zoom meetings for about, I guess the last month or so, and it's wonderful to finally put a face with the name of the business. So it's wonderful. I just heard you say also that you're connected with, are you own Unlimited Ink Notary?
That is correct. So I
That
am
is
the
correct.
signing service and the training company.
Yes, yes. All right. Your trainings are awesome.
Thank
Um, However, my question is because I have been doing signings, I just say probably about 6 months ago. I was just rocking signings with Notary Ink, Unlimited Ink Notary. And then all of a sudden, everything came to a halt.
you.
I sent an email asking, like, what's going on? And it's something, do you not have, if my is my profile not updated? What is the issue? And I haven't gotten any feedback. So, what do I need to do to make sure that I am getting signings from Unlimited Ink?
So let me take a look at, first of all, where are you located?
I'm in Oviedo, Florida.
Alvedo, Florida. Let me take a look really quick. So Miss Angela, I will tell you, you have done 32 files with us, and I'm very candid, okay? So there has been some issues. We can remedy those together. If you
Okay.
send me an email directly to Ronnie at Unlimited Ink Notary, we,
Okay.
we can talk about the issues that we have. I can see, and I hope you're okay. A lot of the issues happened around 2023. And I think the final one was probably around July of that. There was enough that it caused a shift that a client said, we can't do that. And we probably have a big client in your area. We can always get that on track with counseling and making sure um, what the issues were, and we don't need to go through that publicly. But
Yes.
I will tell you publicly, and you can come back and tell people that I will actually do this. If
Okay.
you go through counseling on with me on what we're expecting, and we don't expect anything that no other signing service would expect from you. If you
Right.
go through that counseling session with me, which won't take very long, we can go over what the issues were, get you back on track, start you out, and see where we can go from there.
Okay, because I'd love to do that because I've never had an issue with the signing service and I get superb ratings all the time. So I'd love to see what the problem was so that we can fix it.
Absolutely. I've done this with many notaries. What it mostly happens when we have a particular client in your area, and there may be some hiccups along the way. And if we have like one specific client, because we can actually stop you from seeing just one client or all of them, or five of them, or all of them. So it's a pick and choose. So you probably have one issue with one client, and what I'll do is I'll go through counseling with you. We'll let that escrow officer or that office know this notary has received counseling, and we'll get you back out in the field. You can start accepting signings, and then you'll know what mistakes not to make.
Okay, sounds good. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you. And then let's take a question from the job form, if that's okay with you. Kirsten, is that okay to go there?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, you can read it.
Okay. So are we doing the hotline call?
Yeah, let's do the hotline call.
Okay. So came in on the hotline. Signature name affidavit for Mr. Seller has his wife's name shown amongst the name variations. He wrote never known by and initialed. It was rejected, and they had to go back and force the guy to sign that name variation and give him an oath that it was all true and correct. Was that wrong?
That was not only wrong, it was probably unlawful to force the guy to take an oath when the notary knew the information was false. It sounds like there was somebody new on the desk that day, if you ask me, at the title company. You guys, on a signature name affidavit, if they're not known by that name, it could be that in a previous mortgage, someone they didn't catch it and it was on some of their documents, or somebody typed in their name wrong on a credit report. But when you have a signature name affidavit, if they're not known by that name, they should not sign that name, especially if there's a jurat on that signature name affidavit because they're swearing that the contents of the document are true and correct. You can't force someone to do it. And what you need to do at that point is have that customer talk to their title officer, and you can't guide them on that. But once you hear that, you can't unhear it. So they're going to need another notary that he's okay with, because now what you're watching in that moment is pressure to sign that document. And what is the number one rule of our job? To make sure that the person is who they say they are, and that they're coherent and not being coerced into signing a document. Okay. So you may find yourself as a party, and would it probably come back? No, the guy probably really wants the loan. He's probably going to do what's asked of him. But you may find yourself in a bad situation if somebody says, well, they made me sign that. That notary called the title company and they said, now you're an accomplice to doing that. And we always have to practice that game of what if? What if this is the person who decided to sue? So don't ever let somebody help you pressure someone to sign the documents, even if you're not pressuring them, because you're still notarizing it, knowing. And I hope that's very clear. Kirsten, do you feel I got that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Should we
Okay.
do another question or take a hand?
Let's do the next question because I want to make sure this one gets out. And I really wish, let me check and see if she's here tonight. I know she's driving back, so she's probably not. Kimberly Sennett from California would be a really great, from Notary Academy, would be really great to chime in on this. But I want to make sure that we get that's out there this week. So if you want to start with a question, I'll get you the answer here.
Which question is it?
It was actually from the Facebook.
Ah, yes. Okay. So this is the question. Another camp trainer, is that the one?
Yeah.
Okay. Another camp trainer says that as a California notary, I can't accept a digital ID issued by the state of California. But if the digital ID is from another state, that it's okay to accept it.
Okay. So I want you guys to know that this information is actually not from my mouth, nor is it from Beth's mouth. A notary reached out to the Secretary of State for the state of California, and this is the response that was given. And we're not trying to correct any other trainers out there. People can make mistakes in what they say, or it could be misconceived. And I actually haven't seen that trainer say it, but we just call it a trainer because that's how the notary described it. But this is the official response, and this went all over social media, by the way, with people saying you can do that. And we have a responsibility here at Notary Stars to kind of give as much information as we possibly can. So in California, pertaining to California notaries, this is the response that the notary shared from the Secretary of State. It says, thank you for contacting our office with regards to mobile driver's license as satisfactory evidence for notary purposes. Although some states have begun to issue mobile digital driver's license, California notaries public cannot use mobile digital license to establish identity, even if the driver's license was issued by another state. The signer may use a physical driver's license issued by another state, provided it's current and was issued in the last 5 years. So that is an email that was sent to the notary that they screenshotted directly to the notary that submitted it about electronic driver license in California. So for any notary that heard you can take a California, an out of state digital driver's license, like we have them in Arizona, but we can't even use them. Um, you cannot take them even from another state in California. So we want to make sure you guys are aware of that. If you're listening from another state, you need to make sure two things. Can you take an EID from your state, and can you take one from another state? You need to make sure you have clear definitions of both of those. There are two things you have research to do for your own notary business. Okay. All right, Miss Kirsten, let's take some hands that are raised here and we'll kind of start going back and forth. Miss
Okay.
Miss
Yep.
Angela, when you're ready.
Okay, hi guys. Hi everyone. Ronnie, Kirsten, thank you so much. You guys are doing a fantastic job. This is my first time joining your mentorship call. Really appreciate it. Ronnie, I know that you've been on the computer. I just wanted to know if you could give me a status if you show me listed in your database. I have not received any signings yet from Unlimited Inc. I'm just
Where are you
wondering.
located?
I'm in Texas.
Okay, let me check and see. So I do see that you're listed. Um, are you a member of Notary Stars?
I'm not sure.
What's your actual zip code? I can see that you're in the database, so our team won't have a problem signing you. What zip code are you in?
77459.
And that's Missouri, Texas.
Yes, Missouri City, Texas.
Okay. So I do see that we have three Notary Stars that would see the orders prior to you
Okay.
in that zip code. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 notaries paying signing order, which I have nothing to do with,
Okay.
to jump their zip codes to be closer. So it would go our list and that preferred list, our premier list, not preferred, but premier list that they pay into. And then
Okay.
by the time it gets to you on distance, we're looking at like maybe 20 notaries. And in an
Okay.
area like yours, I can see the order counts. It looks like, you probably would want to do two things. You probably want to get some more training loaded into your profile, or if you have other training courses, make sure it's in there. Uh,
Okay.
and then the other thing was probably pay for that premiere because it looks like quite a few people in your area are paying for it. It's like
Okay.
$2.99 a month to kind of get up on the list.
Okay.
Those two things, adding training and then paying for that jump the zip code where you claim the zip codes and you'll come up first, even though you're further away.
Okay.
That works a lot for notaries. And I don't own signing order. That's how they do it.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of the jump the zip code. I can understand that they make revenue off of that. I'm more interested in training myself, but then it does give you that text message sooner. And then that would be my best advice to you. But you have no negative feedback, nothing holding you
Okay.
back from doing it. Then the other thing is we may not have a lot of business in your area.
Okay.
We have 3,000 transactions a month, but we have hot spots, and then of course we can get one anywhere in the country. But out of 3,000 transactions, I would say probably 100 are in certain major cities or surrounding those cities.
Okay.
Give me time. I'm going to take over the whole country.
Okay. Hey, I love it. I love it. Last question, and thank you for that feedback. Definitely appreciate it. Gosh, what was my other question? Eh, You know what? I'm not going to hold up the next person. If I can remember, I'll just raise my hand again.
Okay, perfect. Well, raise your hand whenever you're ready. Thank you for being
Oh,
on here tonight. And you
oh,
can always reach out to me direct as well. People will tell you I'll take phone calls and emails. It's always great to send an email so I can, find a time for you, but we can also go through other things but you have nothing holding you back really other than there's a lot of people who are really kind of up on the list higher
okay.
at the moment because they're doing that premiere. Um,
Okay.
and then of course adding additional training into your profile.
Okay, I know, I remember my question. It was Ron. Do you ever get requests for Ron notaries? Because I'm also a Ron notary.
Yes, and we not only get requests, it's probably a great time with another additional 50 people on the call at the moment. We are just moments away from actually launching Notary Stars online. The site's not up yet, so you won't be able to find it.
Okay.
We've already built it, but we have our own Ron platform coming. Uh,
Ah,
and so
okay.
there's a lot, there'll be open call program, all kinds of things. So we definitely have Ron business, and we have now reached the point where we're going to be having our own Ron platform that you can use while working here, or while working at Unlimited Inc., or you can use it as a Notary Star for your own business as well.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm glad you asked that question because I often am too busy helping other people that I forget to advertise myself sometimes.
No problem. No problem. Thank you.
Thank you. And then Miss Kirsten, let's do one more from the gallery if that's okay with you. Um, just so that we can kind of I want to kind of beat Bill up in a minute. So Bill, get your coffee. We got two big Ron questions coming up after this next question. Miss Luz, when you are ready.
Hi, Ronnie. Hi, everyone. Sorry, I'm a little under the weather with this cold, but couple of things. The first one is about Ron, right? So piggybacking on what you guys were just discussing about how to get more Ron. Like I do a lot of Rons, but they're from like a signing services that they call me directly and they give me all the ones that they can't do. But I would like to get more Ron from other signing services as well. And I find that there's like it's harder to get those. Even though I have like experience and the training and I feel like I should be getting a lot more and I can't. So any feedback, like I'm registered with Sign in Order and register in a whole bunch of platforms. I think all the platforms that are available out there. Any suggestions on what else to do to be able to get more runs?
Yes, so we actually have some amazing classes that we're going to be coming up with, not coming up with, they're already in play with this new website launch. I'm going to let Bill talk about this in just 2 seconds or less. I just need to know, did you attend the Blast Off with Ron session that I did with Amy Seitz while Bill was on vacation about 2 weeks ago?
No, I was away 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so we did a session. It was a very special session because Bill was on vacation and I needed to talk in his class. I asked Amy Seitz to come in, who owns a remote online notary platform, and I'm going to post it in the chat for everybody. Let me just type it out here. And then if you're watching the replay, you can always go to our YouTube channel to watch it.
Thank you.
It was published on September 22nd. And Bill will tell you, we did a session on why a lot of notaries experience failure to launch with Ron. And if you're in that boat where you feel like you haven't gotten off the ground, I think that's a really great replay to watch. And then we have some classes coming out for you. But Bill, I would love for you to talk about this for just a moment because I feel like a lot of notaries get really fixated on working with signing services or with title and escrow when it comes to remote online notarization. And the reason Bill is our instructor at Notary Stars is not because he's the most amazing Ron notary, although he is. It's because he actually is self-sustaining as only a Ron notary and making great money at it. So, Mr. Bill, what would you say to this here?
So my thought on this, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we
Yep.
can hear you.
Mhm.
Okay. So my thought, and you'll hear me say it if you come into Friday classes almost every time, do not rely solely on escrow. Do not just do escrow. Go out and build a book of business that is completely separate from escrow. So whether it is with attorneys, law firms, legal assistants, legal document preparers, or any other field, medical
Cool.
field, schools, anything that's not tied to escrow, I think Like right now, I'm a little frustrated because I just got thrown an escrow that I have to do at 6 o'clock. That's an emergency kind of thing, and it just frustrates me to no end. I get so agitated with them, and the reason being is because, and you'll experience this if you even if you go out and make escrow your focal point, for some reason, they don't want to give you the normal ones. They don't want to give you the everyday seller packages. They want to come up with these exotic, off the wall, last minute things that just make your life miserable. So I
Yes.
would strongly, strongly suggest going out there and talking to other people. Networking is huge. Go to networking events, both in person and and online, virtually, because there are plenty of networking events, even like this, or coming to class on Friday and networking with the other people, because we talk about it constantly in class. You need to know somebody on the East Coast, and you need to know somebody on the West Coast, and you need to have somebody in Texas, and somebody in Virginia, and somebody in Florida. And you want to have these different people all over the place so that you can bounce stuff off of. Because if I need something done, and Tierra is in New York on the East Coast, and it's too early for me to do, I would much rather throw it to her. And likewise, she might have something that's too late for her to do that she would throw to me. So I think by networking with one another and branching out and looking for other places, that's going to be your biggest help. I don't know if that answered your question, but
No, thank
that
you.
would be where I would start.
I really appreciate the advice. I'll take anything because I'm trying to grow more of the Ron side. I enjoy Ron a lot more than in-person notarization myself. It's like I find it more productive and,
And another benefit to working with, and I see that Mark and Grace posted something in there that they own a legal doc prep company and they use Ron 3 to 4 times a week. Another advantage to branching away from escrow, you actually have a little more control over your schedule. You'll know stuff further in advance. I have an appointment in February. I already have one scheduled in February.
wow.
So I love that because my schedule is more set. And so, yeah,
Thank you,
I would
Bill.
definitely look into that. And come to
Yeah,
class on Friday, and I'll gladly share with you
I will. I will.
more ideas.
One last thing, and Ronnie, maybe you can like it's just this was my first assignment today that I got directly from a law office, and they wanted me to come to this place to identify a witness for court. So they were gonna call during court, and then the judge was going to um, give me an oath so I can, testify that I verified this person's identity and that they are who they say they were. So the weird thing is like feel like I didn't have any paperwork whatsoever. There's nothing to sign. I couldn't put anything on my journal. So it's like in that case, like, do you recommend like that I had kept a copy of the ID or it's like I was a little bit of thrown off because it was my first assignment of that nature. And it was just basically waiting for court to start and getting um, myself thrown in so I can identify. And then I was dismissed. So any recommendations, like is that any paper? I felt like I was missing something. Like it was just
You know, this
so,
this would be something that I would love. I wish Miss Beth was here so she could really back me up on this. But you really can't keep customers' IDs.
I
Okay.
know, but yeah.
If you're doing like a custodian of records thing because they're going out of the country and you're locking them in a safe and you're only taking a photocopy of them and it's certified copies that you could ship to them if they get into any trouble, which is something that I've done in the past. That's a
Mm-hmm,
thing. But keeping, copies of the IDs, your journal is your journal. And
mm-hmm, yeah.
how that notarial act plays out, you need to record that in your journal and you know you've done your job when you've recorded it in the journal. So don't start making up processes, but keeping an
Mm-hmm.
ID in some states that could be illegal. Um, Keeping them and in some states taking a photograph of them could be illegal.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you want to make sure you're following your state laws and don't take your due diligence too far, out of fear of something, you're always going to do your job as a notary. You're always going to double check your job, your work as a notary. Don't start doing things to protect yourself that are against the law, just because something was new. But your notary journal is a huge foundation of every single one of our businesses.
Okay. Yeah, so just maintaining that journal will suffice, like as just I did my job.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I didn't keep a copy of the ID.
Okay, good. All right, before we
Thanks, Ronnie.
thank you. Before we move on, though, I just want to ask if Miss Amy, I made you a co-host. If you guys are not aware, I posted in the chat, and I'll post it again. I did a session with when Bill was out with Amy, and Miss Amy. I just want to see if you have some words of encouragement for new notaries. If you guys don't know Miss Amy, she's from Cyberize It. She's been a huge part of our community. We love her. We love her platform. I use their notaries whenever I can. Miss Amy, do you have some words of encouragement on starting your Ron business? Let's see if she's still here.
There we go.
There we go.
That worked. Okay. The first part would be understanding that your marketing is going to be totally different. If you're marketing for regular signings, that's one thing. If you're marketing for Ron or Ren or iPen, it's definitely going to be a different kind of marketing aspect, and you've got to be prepared for that. It's not a gig economy. It's not like Uber. And I see Sue's in the audience tonight. Love Sue. Woo-woo. Sue from Notary Assist is here. But you've got to be able to give those connections, those solidifications to your clients to get it done. And it takes a lot of knowledge. But don't be scared. Just come out and do it. And that's the thing that I think a lot of notaries are not ready to do. You're not ready to come out and do it. You're like, oh, this, oh, that. Just do it. Just do it.
Another thing, Amy, is I see a lot of notaries not being able to have the conversation of the convenience of Ron, being able to talk. So, for instance, let's just take one thing and zero in it real quick. If you have a schoolhouse near you and they take field trips, every single parent has to do a kid release form saying that they can take those kids out. You can go and explain to that school how it's going to be convenient for the parents. They're not going to have to go look for a notary. They can all get it done by the same notary. You can get to know those parents, so it's easy for them the whole time that they're in that class or their kids are in that school. You can create quite a bit of revenue, and you got to think if it's a large middle school or a large high school, how many students could be in there? That's 500 students. That's 500 online notarizations that you could be creating for yourself. Now, still, people are going to still go to a traditional notary for sure, but creating that journey just for the schoolhouse, saying, here's a QR code, explain to the parents they can do it this way, create a flyer for them. They're going to pin it to the kids or email it out to them. And then you can start having, some business. And that's just one take on it. And then Amy's right, getting started. Just
Ronnie, I want to add on to that. Don't only just do your local school things. If you are part of a church school, a missionary expedition, you can actually go and get all of those different aspects. They send out an email saying, go to this website, get this done because they need this notarization done.
Yep.
Mhm.
And thank you for coming up, Miss Amy. We got to keep going with questions, but
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I appreciate you being here, and whenever you're here, let me know you're here so that I can you have a amazing knowledge that we all need. Before we move on to Nicola, I just want to ask if I made Sue Hope a co-host. I believe. Yes, I did. Miss Sue, you haven't been here in forever, so at least I'm gonna pin you for a second if you can.
I'm here. Can you
There
see
you
me?
go. Yeah. If you guys don't know Miss Sue, she owns Notary Assist. We have her all over the website. I'm lucky when I get to share airspace or real space with her. If you guys have never seen her, she's almost at every conference in the country. She comes by when she can, but you haven't been here in about 6 months.
It's been a hot second. We're in the middle of tax time, so it's been a little crazy. I'm working a little late tonight, so it was a little quiet. So I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna jump on Monday mentorship." So sorry, I just wanted to say hi.
Yes. Well, while you're here, we definitely have, new members all the time. So, just everybody, while you're looking at the space that I pinned up here, this is Suho. She owns Notary Assist. I actually started my business with Notary Assist, and I still keep my account open at Notary Assist in case I need to go back at my records. Now, I grew to a really large multi-million dollar signing service, which eventually, reluctantly, and still hate it, had to go to QuickBooks because I have an accountant that does everything and they're not really working with Notary Assistant. It's hard to do that many transactions. But for a notary company, it is a wonderful software. And I contribute part of my growth to getting to where I'm at today to Miss Sue. And I will tell you, there's no one in the industry that offers as much support as she does for her software for notaries. I know there's a lot of choices out there, but one of the things I think about when I make choices is, will they pick up the phone? Can they help me if I have a problem? Do they care about my growth? And I think this is some things that Miss Sue actually does in her business. So my heart with you, and I just wanted to say hello since I saw that you were in the office.
Well, thank you, thank you. And Amy's absolutely right. I'm going to piggyback on as far as getting started with anything. It's the fear of getting started. It's like when you're a little kid and you want to jump into the deep end and you want to swim and you want to have fun. The hardest part is the anticipation. But once you actually get in there and you start doing it, you start realizing what you're good at and how much fun you're having. So just like she said, just do it. So I just thought that was great advice. A lot. Don't get stuck in fear. We have a great community that's all here to help you and ask questions and make sure that you can succeed. So that's what this is all about. So thank you, Ronnie, for having this platform. And thank you for letting me say hi.
Absolutely. You come by and say hi anytime you want. The door is always open.
I love it. I love it. Have a great night. I'm listening.
All right. And then now we're going to move on to Miss Niccolo. Now, guys, we have about 12 minutes, but I'm notorious for going over. If we can try to keep our questions, some of them are going to take longer than others. If we can try to keep them, let's try to give everybody a chance that's got their hand up. We can always kind of jot form later. Miss Nicola, when you are ready, let's go ahead and get your question in.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is safe. I'm in Florida and I see a few Floridians in the chat today. I just have a question with regards to inclement weather and taking assignments. We don't know how the weather is going and what direction it's going to. When is a good time to kick back a job, and will it reflect on our score if we kick it back at the last minute because the weather gets bad?
As long as you're communicating with the signing service, like I put up on Unlimited Ink Notary, anybody that's worked with us today, the clients can see the message at the top as well as the notaries, and it says Hurricane Milton will be affecting signings in Central Florida and surrounding areas through end of week. Our hearts are with all in its path. So we've let our clients know. We sent out an email because some clients may not know that there's a hurricane happening if they're signing from California. You need to put you and your self first. The signing services will figure it out when all the other notaries, because you're not going to be the only one that says it is not be on the road. I've seen people like driving out of the snow, like are following the path of the snow to get to a signing and then having to drive back into it to get back home. It is up to you, your comfortability level in driving in conditions and what you're willing to do. They will have to wait. And I will tell you, we've had an influx of Florida signings today because they're trying to move them up. And then some will close. A lot of the title companies are aware of what's going on, especially if they're in the area. But out of state from Florida, sad, but some people don't watch the news. And because they're busy or because they don't want to turn on the TV, they may not know just yet. But let me tell you, when you set out a signing in an area and everybody's like, that'll be $5,000 because I'll have to drive through a hurricane, or can I do it on Friday after the hurricane passes? They find out very quickly. So don't feel bad, but don't put yourself in danger.
Right.
It's
Right.
better to just not respond or let them know, I'm sorry, there's a hurricane. I can't do that until then.
Right.
Be passed by this time. But when you're thinking about a hurricane or a huge snowstorm, think about after it passes. You know, I would love to take it for this time, but I will tell you, we will have to see what happens after the hurricane passes because I may not be able to get there, or the signers might not be able to meet me, or there could be something blocking our way. So don't make promises you can't keep either. I would love to
Right.
take this signing on this date with a contingency basis that if the power's out, we may need to negotiate when they sign. Because
Right.
then you're putting yourself in a position to say, she said she could get it done.
Right. Yeah. I don't have like a motorboat to get to certain signings. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was a really great question. I'm glad you asked it. It was really needed in this moment in time. Miss Appy, when you are ready.
Good evening, everybody. Hi, Ronnie. Hi, Kirsten. Thank you so very much for calling me and spending some time with me on the phone the other day, Ronnie. It was very helpful, and I'm very grateful. And Kirsten for, responding to my email so quickly. So I use Notary Assist, and I love it. Absolutely, absolutely love it. My question is this. I've only been on Notary Stars for maybe a couple months.
Mhm.
It's such a family feel. You just feel like you're part of a family. So have you given any thought, the young lady who said, I'm not getting any, all of a sudden I'm not getting any signings. I mean, have you given any thought to rating your notaries on your platform so they can see, on an ongoing basis how they're doing?
This is a wonderful question. I am so glad that you are asking this question. So I have advocated for signing order to start showing the notary score, not the actual written review. I think an Uber driver does not see what the customer writes about them, and they do way less complicated work than we do. Nobody out there should take offense to that because I drive Uber too. I don't drive it currently, but I have an Uber account to drive for them as well as DoorDash, and I can see my score and quality of work. Okay. That gives you incentive to say I can do better. I can do, where am I at here? And then on Uber, actually, if you get below like 4.6 or something, they disconnect you. You're done. They won't even hire you. And I kind of feel the same ways about notaries. If you get down to a certain level, you shouldn't be working. You should be going back to training or coming back to something. So I've been advocating for this. There's actually a petition that went up that's been circling social media, and I'll tell you what, it's not going to be taken seriously. They actually joked with me. I can prove this if you guys need. I wrote and said, haha, someone did it. And they said, we bet it was you because I've been asking for this for so long. And I said, it wasn't me. And I said, we, pulled it down. And here's why it's not going to be taken seriously. The notary who started it has not put their name on it.
Hmm.
There's no repercussion. It just says a notary signing agent started it. And what the problem we have with it is, and why we took it out of our group, is that change.org is connected to a pay money in some way. And we can't have a promotion going on to further that because it's not connected to someone that we could say, you didn't spend that money properly. Because that could be somebody that just watches notaries and preying on notaries to spend money. So it will absolutely go nowhere at all because the change.org was done wrong. I'm still advocating for it. I do believe it'll come soon. I keep knocking on their door, but that's a wonderful question. But just to clarify for anybody, I don't own signing order. I just use it as a signing service. It's something we pay for every month to be a part of.
Yes, a couple of signing companies that I use, only you can see it. and they list what the error was. Was it a missing signature? Was it a missing? And then you get a score, but only you can see. So on an ongoing basis, okay, this is what I did wrong, and I can correct it. Or if you, so far, knock on wood, I haven't had any issues yet, at least with those two, then you have the motivation to keep the score that high, like, okay, I don't want to see any errors. So instead of being ghosted because you've done something wrong, but you didn't know what you did wrong so that you could correct. So thank you.
I'd love for everybody to not tomorrow email support at signing order. And don't say Ronnie from Notary Stars told you to go do it. You need to write from your own perspective. And don't be rude. They are open to suggestions. Okay. But you are an in-game result for them. For those of you that pay to jump the list or pay for the job board, that means you are a stakeholder in that company. Okay. Anybody who pays money to anybody is a stakeholder. I call you guys stakeholders at Notary Stars. The members, you've heard me many times say you're a stakeholder in how this is going to evolve. And what we are today is because of the earlier Notary Stars too that make suggestions like this. So what I would suggest is emailing support at signing order and making a case just like Miss Affy said. Say, it gives me pride in my work. It gives me a compass of where I'm going. I'd like to be able to see. If you ask for the actual verbal comments, I'm going to tell you that's going to be a hard no.
Yeah, but
They're
you don't
not going
want
to tell you. But they should be showing you what your quality score is, and so should SnapDocs. If 165 people wrote both of them right now, and don't do it all at one time, do an ebb and flow so it, does it. But write them individually as your own business and let them know why you need to see your quality score and how it will make you a better notary for their database. And get SnapDocs, signing order, ZigSig, everybody to show your, I think ZigSig shows it to you. Get everybody to show you your quality score, but it will take all of you. And here's the thing, you catch more flies with honey, make the case valid. Don't make it about you, make it about all notaries, make it about quality and how you seeing your score will make you a better notary in their database. That's the key, is when you make it about how you will be helping them if they can help you with this. That is professionalism.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Thank you. I appreciate that question. I wish I could get everything in my brain out in one day, but there's all these other questions and then I forget to say things like this. That was a perfect question as well. Thank you so much for that question. All right, Miss Kirsten, we might go a few minutes over, but we got 3 hands raised. We're going to try to get through them really quick. Tiara from New York. I'm going to New York in December.
Well, we can't wait to have you.
I'm going to stay in Times Square.
Oh, you're a tourist.
Yes. And I want Rockefeller Center, and I want Christmas lights, and I want to watch people ice skating, and I want to do all the things that you see on TV.
There'll be plenty of people watching for you, trust me. Today, I'll play tourist and actually go to the Statue of Liberty and all that stuff, but nah. First, yeah, I do see a lot of your orders through signing orders. Sadly, they're all in the city. One day, you'll reach out to me here in Westchester. But my question really is about the websites. Now, I've been getting ready to do it since your first training, and I just have not found the time. And I know you said a lot of your, not subordinates, your trainees are doing it now. How do I connect with them? The website link doesn't seem to be updated. It still says like you're doing it. So how do I reach out to them?
So I'm not sure I quite understand the question. So do you mean, how do you connect with the students who are building their own websites?
I think you said, are they building websites for others too?
Correct. So I'll actually post a link in the chat, or actually share the view of what that looks like. So this is true. I am no longer building. Actually, Miss Batista that was speaking earlier was the last website that I will build. We did one smaller one for Kevin in class together. But on the homepage of Notary Stars, there are a couple of links. Let's see if I can get back to share screen. There we go. So this is the homepage of Notary Stars, and we do have a marketing section here for the public outside of my course. And there are 2 links there. build a dynamic website or a local website. They look very similar, but they're actually two different ones. So if you're looking for a local website, you can see that local area. And then you can see if you want a dynamic website, then they're at that area as well. Make sure that you look at the difference between a local website and a dynamic website. If you're a Ron notary, you really probably want to start with Ron because you'll reach more people when it comes to Ron.
Okay, because yeah, me doing it myself, I'm just not gonna find time. I'd rather just go ahead and toss it over. I have one through Squarespace, but I see you do a lot of Wix, and I cannot figure out the migration. So
We actually, yeah, I do have the credentials to build on Wix. That's why I'm what they call a Wix legend, which is an actual job title. And we can help you, but make sure you read the form because the way that we design this is you can buy just a homepage to start, and then you can build, out to the entire country. We made it very step by step so you don't have to spend all your money on a website all at once. And so you can start making a little money back or, all the things. So we wanted to be able to do it in stages for you. Or you can buy it all at once. You can add everything all at once too and just go ahead and get the whole full shebang. We want to be able to help you on your budget.
okay, so start on those those videos and go from there. Okay.
Oh, no, it's not a video. It's just a layout of what you can get for each one. So you can, I would say, make sure to read both of those to see which one you should really be starting with.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Okay.
And then we have Tiffany Williams coming up.
Hello.
Hi there.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine. I have been in your meetings for the last 3 weeks, and because I've been really trying to solidify which is so many companies out there to get training or additional training. I have training. I've also received requests for jobs, but unfortunately, I have a 9 to 5, well, 9 to 7, so it'd be the time frame for me. Do you guys have anything that's like late, what I gonna say, well, evening signings, or do you know of any notaries that's more successful? Like, I wanted to see if there was a way to market myself for uh the later evenings, like maybe after 5 o'clock, maybe to like 10 or something like that.
If you're just starting out, first of all, make sure you notate it in all your profiles out there. But if you're just starting out, and guys, I really don't want you to take this the wrong way, okay? But newer notaries generally tend to work later and earlier than the experienced notaries. And here's why. As you get more experience, you generally get to choose your schedule. By the time I got to what I would call my greatness as a notary, even before Notary Stars, I was the early morning guy. Bill Soroka talks about being the early morning guy. And I liked getting up early. I'd get my money made by 3 o'clock and I was at the pool with a cocktail to be able to chill. But I also knew that the newer notaries were out working money that I could be having because they were asking me for it. So you can always partner with some more experienced notaries in your area. Look for those. And when they're turning down signings, have them refer you and just let them know, like, hey, I would like to work evenings, but I might need some endorsements. So that's one great way because I have worked with a lot of notaries that I gave the evening signings to and said, hey, they've trained, they're just as experienced as me. Let them go, do that signing. But don't forget me at the 8 a.m. signing. So partner with other notaries and then make sure other companies know and reply to orders throughout the day saying, I would love to help you with this, but I'm available after 5. Please let me know about any 5 o'clock signings. You're gonna have to do that for a while, like 6 months, so that all the signing services that are sending them in your area get to know you and you can reply, please mark me for 5 p.m. on, and let them know, like reply to them with a message so that they get to know you and be polite and be in depth about it. As in depth of the characters you can get. Maybe find that perfect sentence that comes back to let them know. And that would be my best advice on that.
Okay, that was one question. And my second question is, I've had training through the National Notary Association for the RON platform, but I had signed up. I basically wasted some money signing up with another company because I never got to the point to get to the exemplifier, so I can actually legally do line signings and trying to. I just don't know which direction to go in.
So I didn't really hear a question. I heard a statement, but I didn't hear a
How do
question.
how do I get the exemplar? Like that part. And then it's like you got to be signed up with this, but before I can get signed up with a company, I got to have that part first.
What state are you in?
I'm in Michigan.
Michigan. So Bill, are you familiar with an exemplar?
I'm familiar with the Nevada exemplar, and it's kind of the same boat where you have to declare a company that you're going to work with. Then once you start working with them, they create the exemplar, which you then give to the Secretary of State so that you can begin working with the company. It's kind of the cart before the horse before the cart. It feels really backwards. Um, it what company, what platform did you sign up with to get the exemplar?
I never got the exemplar. I was oh, at this point it was just something that was just coming out of my account because I like I say I work. I just stopped. I just stopped it because it just wasn't. It wasn't lining up with my schedule to go in for their trainings to get the. So I was just trying to figure out how do I get this because I wanted to sign up for the training with Notary Stars so I can be a Ron Notary. I do pretty much do the same thing at work. I walk clients through their documents and how to sign and things of that nature. So it's pretty much the same thing that I feel, but I want to do it for myself, for my business.
I don't know if Amy's still on the call, but if not, she probably could tell you about her platform. I know that an easy one to get your exemplar quickly from without a lot of hassle is Blue Notary, because you sign up with them, you create the exemplar right there in one of the first steps that you go through, and then you have it so that you can present it. And then once you get the first one, then it kind of allows you. They kind of snowball. It's not hard. You just need that first one. So if that's your goal is to get that first one to get to the state, I would start with Blue Notary just because it's kind of easy to get to.
Okay.
But that's how I would do it.
All right. I'm just trying to get through the process.
Yeah.
Right, Miss Tiffany, did we help you out and point you in the right direction there?
Yes, I just didn't know if I had to get it from the company. Well, it seemed like I had to get it from the company first. I thought I had to go to the state first, and then it said, "Well, you got to get it from the company." And then when I went to the company, it's like they wanted me to take these bunch of classes first, but then it wasn't lining up with my schedule. So,
yeah. And then just so you know, if you haven't joined yet for the Ron classes, what Bill really focuses on in his class is a couple of things here. Number one, Ron safety, because you're now using a brand new pen with a very slippery slope. There's a lot of things you need to know about operating as a remote online notary. Telling people that you are being recorded is one of them. You have to state that in a lot of remote online notary or all remote on notary transactions. So Bill goes over Ron safety. He also goes over marketing your Ron business, what you can and cannot do through remote online notarization. So when you're ready for that, Bill is there for you every Friday, and he records his classes and uploads them for replay. So if you're not able to attend those classes, you can watch them on replay as well.
so what is I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I'm just curious. What is the membership for? I guess I'm learning that you are actually separate from Notary Stars. So I guess I want to know, like, what is the price for the membership?
So Notary Stars, I'm not separate. I own both. I own Unlimited Ink and Notary Stars.
Oh, okay.
Those companies are separate, but I manage both of them with a very good team that helps me do all of this, like Bill, Kirsten, Beth, Travis over at Unlimited Ink. The membership, it unlocks the training. So you can get a listing, but you can also unlock the training in the library so that you can learn at your own pace or have access to our live training sessions and our notary support line. And then there's only three listing levels. There's listing only, there's the Notary Star where you get everything, including the RON. And then when you're ready to really hit that hard marketing level, I have a Notary Star Plus marketing level where you can do that. I always recommend if you're brand new or just getting in the industry, go to the Notary Star listing level first and then come see me at marketing, because I'm looking for those notaries who are ready to go out there and start to make a difference. Not people who are still learning how to do RON. I want to teach you how to market the RON. I want you to spend that time first with those team members who specialize in training. Not that I can't teach these classes, because we all know I used to, but now we're so large, I really focus on the marketing part. That's my favorite part too. It's like a video for me.
How long are you typically in each class though?
It depends on your aptitude and your ability to absorb. Every adult learner is different. I've seen people go through the class in 2 months, 3 months. I've had people there for years, but then a lot of people stay with us because we keep it up to date. And it works as a kind of like a business library. So it really depends on you and your aptitude. But the reason we have memberships where you can downgrade and upgrade is you may want to go take a course somewhere else, and which we want you to. We want your resume to look like somebody shot at it with all these logos for training all over. And, that looks really attractive to hiring companies. So you can always upgrade, downgrade, and, go to another training course for a little bit or take another one that might cost a little bit more and a one-time shot, and then come back to us for the library. There's never any hard feelings. It's an ebb and flow, but it's really up to you. And so to tell you how long it takes you to learn something is really hard, because I don't know how your brain works. I have to read a book 3 times before I get the full, shebang.
I mean, I get it. I'm like I multitask. I'm a student. I work. I'm always in training at work, and then I do this on the side, and I'm always training for something here. I just want to see my money that I'm invested in myself and in my business really like take off. And it's like I have a 5-star review, but I'm only getting like so many calls. But it's also too is the technology behind it. So I need to get that part.
When I first opened up a business, I had some of the best business advice from Frederick Levy, who's a well-known Hollywood producer. He wrote a book called Hollywood 101, and I was actually the last dedication in that book. And that book said, these are for those who get it and not for those who don't. And throughout my career, he was a big inspiration for me. Like when you graduate, you give your skull to somebody who like really inspired you. He was who I gave mine to. To say thank you for all the wisdom that got me here. He said something to me, and I hear something from you that I'd like to share to you. One of his pieces of advice to me, I was talking about all these things I want to do, and I was taking this thing, and I was going to do this, and I was going to open this notary thing, and he said, Pooh Bear, get your hands out of so many honey pots, because you'll get stuck. And so we have to kind of sometimes focus on one thing at a time, get that off the ground. And I'm the king of it to this day. Beth is spinning off the planet. She goes, you're spinning again. And sometimes you just have to focus on one thing for a moment, line it up, and then you've got that up and running.
Mm-hmm. So you didn't ask my question though. What's the price different? The price of the membership?
So the Notary Star membership is $39.95 monthly. You get as a discount if you do semi-annual or annual. And then Notary Stars Plus marketing is $69.95 a month, and there's a discount there if you do semi-annual or annual.
Got it. I seen that on there one before, and I got confused because I'm like, well, what's the difference? But thanks, you answered my question.
Yeah. All right.
I'm not gonna take up any more time. I know we're already past time. So.
No, we're already past time, but we're gonna get this last hand up from Miss LaDonna. Thank you, Miss Tiffany.
Thank you.
And then Miss LaDonna, you're gonna take us home, but everybody stick around for our signature wave. We always like to wave to each other at the end of the night. It's kind of like when you go around church hugging each other at the end of a good church sermon. Miss LaDonna, let's get your question in for the rest of the night.
Hello, Ronnie. Can you hear me? I'm a little hoarse.
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Okay, this isn't a question. This is actually a shout out to you, Ronnie, and Mr. Bill Bumfrey. You for your Marketing Plus class and Bill for his Ron classes because I am a notary who is wheelchair bound. So that does not drive. So I do only take in-person or mobile requests from clients by appointment because obviously it takes me time to get there. 2 days ago, I had someone call me that needed a notary at a hospital and they needed expedited. Well, I was in position to get there. I took the appointment and I asked them, how did they find me? And they said they typed in notary near me and I came up first. So thank you for the hospital landing page because that got me not only my first, but my second direct client who's also willing to become a Ron client. So thank you both to you and Mr. Bill for your classes in marketing and in Ron.
Well, thank you. And if you guys don't know what Miss LaDonna is talking about, she invested in our 2 new websites, which are on the homepage of Notary Stars as well. I decided to build hospital-specific and jail-specific notary listings, which on the first one we did came up on the first page of Google. And I even impressed myself with my skills. I was able to get every single person who's bought a listing. If you Google the name of the hospital and the word notary, or even part of the hospital name and the word notary, these listings are coming up on the first page of Google within 24 to 48 hours of us finishing adding your listing to the website. So those 2 websites are emergencynotaryservices.com and jailnotaryservices.com. And pretty much at this point, you heard me say it before, I couldn't. Pretty much at this point, I think I can guarantee that I can get anybody on any first page for a hospital or a jail for sure. Because so many notaries are failing to expand their websites and add services properly with that proper SEO for the hospital or the proper SEO for the jail. And some of these pages, even when you just Google the name of the hospital, are actually coming up before the hospital, which is amazing. So I give myself a pat on the back for that one because I didn't even know that was going to happen. That's without the keyword notary. So that's pretty awesome. Guys, we have definitely gone over our time, 17 minutes. I'm going to ask if you would please turn on your cameras to give our signature wave for the night. If you are stuffing your face with a sandwich right now, just take a bite, put it down. We don't care if you got food in your mouth. Let's click that camera on. Let's get those hands waving tonight. If you are not naked and you are halfway decent, turn on those cameras and let's give our signature wave. And Miss Beth would say it properly here for everybody at Notary Stars. My dog is just going crazy. She's like, I want to wave too. When you get to where you're going as a notary and you find your success, just remember to reach back and take somebody along with you. Okay, guys? Y'all have a wonderful night. Good night from Layla. She said it's time to go party. All right. Good night, everybody. Have a wonderful evening.